escaping the shadows. I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is CeeChronicles and I go by that name across all my social media platforms. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, as well as Facebook using that handle. On this particular channel, I post fragrance related content, and if you like that style of content but you are not subscribed, kindly join the family by clicking the subscribe button. To those who are returning, thank you so much for the continued support. Today I have a compare and contrast. I have a before you buy. I have a, just my thoughts in general about these two fragrances. Now, why I'm saying compare and contrast or before you buy is because these have made the rounds. So a lot of people know that they are drawing inspiration, guys, from that BAYAAN quality. So I'm just going to weigh in here and, tell you my thoughts. This is why I actually thought to bring them as a pair as opposed to bringing them one by one. Now, one is called Caramel Cascade from the house of Paris Corner. If you're well versed with Paris Corner, you will know that they have a Tuscan line that comes in this standard box. So what they've done differently here is just the color of the box. Whereas Lattafa's Eclaire, guys, has got, of course, the dramatic presentation of the packaging of Lattafa as per usual, and then it has that drippy caramel look there, box in a box, right? So enough of the box and the presentation. Now, the bottle for Eclaire looks like this from a house of Lattafa, while that of Caramel Cascade is in the standard Tuscan bottle, right? Disclaimer, this is not first impressions. I am just revamping these fragrances because I've been wearing them, the whole day, testing them out, but they've been in my collection for over 10 days. So that's why I'm saying this is not first impressions. This is probably like maybe 10th impression or something like that, right? I'm going to tell you my quick thoughts on these fragrances. I stopped on the Eclair because that is the one that is on Fragrantica. List notes of caramel, sugar, milk, honey, white florals, musk, praline, and vanilla, okay? And then this one I did not bother to check, but it does have similar notes, except for the fact that I'm going to add the note of coumarin in Caramel Cascade by Paris Corner. I want to start with the Lattafa one, guys. This, guys, opens up as the ultimate gourmand. This was a well-needed fragrance from the house of Lattafa. They haven't offered us something like this in the past. I know they've given us Nebras, something that's quite milky, cacao-y, chocolatey, gourmand, but nothing like this. This is a rich, lingering sweet caramel, warm caramel scent there with an underlying chocolatey accord bouncing off the praline. So it's going to be one of those fragrances that are going to be dessert-like, yummy, okay? And the vanilla goes on to add some sweetness to this fragrance, and there's a creamy milk that you get from here. So already just by that description, you are going to visualize, a bowl of dessert, but nothing doing too much, just everything in check. Also list the white florals. They did not actually say which ones, but I'm going to give an example of maybe magnolia. It does feel like a waxy white floral, maybe that bounces off as a musky, but they did not list magnolia. This is just me telling you what I sometimes get from magnolia. When they released this after Caramel Cascade, I looked at Lattafa with a side eye and I was thinking, was it that they were late and they just had to drop this fragrance and all that? But I see the hype. This is Lattafa's atelier at work right there. This is Lattafa's prowess. This just shows that, I'm a Scorpio. I'm going to use my mantra that as Scorpios, we always say, treat me like a game and I'll show you how it's played, right? This is kind of how this one vibes, but I'm going to leave it at this for now and then get into this one. And then, we're going to do the contrasting there. Now, Caramel Cascade, on the other hand, is also drawing or cut from the same cloth there of BAYAAN quality. However, this one is going to give you a sharp opening there, something that feels even synthetic. And then there's going to be that amped up spicy tone of the coumarin. That is where the two kind of differ there. There is that woody, spicy coumarin note there that even comes across as hay-like, making the caramel not as rich in a way in interpretation, but rather as toasty, even underlying smoky, okay, sticky type of caramel that I get from here. And it is that sharp accord that I get in here that makes this one feel unisex, while this one feels like the sort of fragrance that's going to be a wow for any woman out there. So this, I'm going to say, has got that masculine accord to it because of the woody tone that you get there. And I'm just going to attribute that, guys, to possibly the concentration of that coumarin, or the, you know, the dose of the coumarin that they have used in this. Now, am I saying this one doesn't have coumarin? No, but I'm just saying, even if it does, it doesn't make it the star of the show. So this takes a spicy, dry feel, and the creaminess is muffled again because of that coumarin. But yes, undoubtedly, you are going to get a creaminess. And unfortunately, because it has come at a time where we have, you know, the other one to compare, I can see the flaws in this. Whereas, say, for instance, the Eclair hadn't been dropped there, maybe I wouldn't have seen the flaws in this, right? In this, because Ajwa came with the original Bianca Latte, I was able to compare, and I did notice that this one kind of feels like a take on, you know, that amped up rendition on maybe a fragrance that they were trying to get to last longer than, you know, than an actual 101 clone. Both of the fragrances have that, you know, Bianca Latte DNA, but they kind of stray from each other in that regard. And I find that the Eclair is going to be one that a lot of people are going to prefer, especially the ladies there. So if you are watching this video because you are before you buy advice, then I'm going to say definitely this is the one I would recommend. And putting it back to myself, I would say once my Eclair is finished, I'm definitely going to repurchase the Eclair as opposed to this one, because this one has got that sharp thing, you know, that makes it open up after hours, actually. By that I mean it's a long-lasting fragrance. It lasts till the next wash, but it gets to that very enjoyable part, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 hours in, because all the while all you'll be getting is a woody, spicy, piercing feel of everything happening in here, and with that caramel really struggling but coming across as sticky and toasty, that sort of thing. In its defense, because I'm not here, guys, to just rubbish caramel Cascade from the house of Paris Corner. No, as I said, if there wasn't this one to compare, I would probably come here and maybe fall in love with this completely, because it wouldn't have any competition. In its defense, this is a long-lasting fragrance, actually lasting till the next wash. And in its defense, this one's going to be more unisex. So if you like this fragrance and you're a man and you feel this one's too girly, this one's too gourmand, this one's too, you know, whatever it is, then this is going to have that you know, genderless appeal to it, especially leaning masculine because of that woody, spicy tone or direction that it takes. Whereas this one, much as it is also long lasting, then, you know, becomes a lingering warm caramel scent, even a gentle trail, as opposed to sharp and piercing. So the projection is also going to be something that is on the side of caramel Cascade. This is a fragrance that when you wear it on yourself, you walk into a room, it's immediately going to rubbish everybody's fragrance, because it does project. For a fragrance built around, you know, that caramel and cream and milk, and it is a fragrance that does project. And I think it is the dose of that coumarin, guys, that kind of thickens everything, concentrates everything, and gives it weight. So for those who love fragrances with longer lasting power, then this is going to certainly tick the boxes for you. And by this, I'm not saying this one does not have a good lasting power. This is also a very long lasting fragrance. However, it's the interpretation to the nose and to the people around you that is going to make both of them different. Okay, this one is going to be lingering, gourmand, yummy there, leaving that beautiful scent bubble around you without necessarily screaming or trying to compete with anybody's fragrance, while this one is going to work a little bit harder there, guys, when it comes to the lasting power. So that is one advantage that the caramel Cascade has, you know, as opposed to this one. Now, the other question is going to be, you know, is it redundant to own both? I'm going to say yes and no to that answer, right? It's going to depend on what rendition you prefer. If you prefer a sharper, woodier, spicier rendition, then I'm going to say go for this one. If you want something that's going to be at par with that Bianca Latte, then go for this one. Do you need both? Personally, I don't. You know, I just have both because I'm a reviewer. But, you know, all things being equal, if this one and this one hadn't come at the same time with Ajwa and I had gone into the shop to test, I would have probably, you know, bought this one and then maybe just come and gave you my thoughts of this one without actually purchasing, the full bottle. And to second that, I've been trying to shake this one off to Maima, because she's been very much into the Taskines, to an extent that she's the owner of this Taskine. So when she was spraying my Eclair, I said, take the Taskine, and she quickly said, no, I don't like it. And I said, why? And she said, it's too sharp. So it does have a sharpness that maybe because I do have a choice now of the Eclair, I wouldn't have bought both if I had the chance to compare. And in conclusion, guys, I don't know why Paris Corner decided to put this one in the Taskine bottle. I mean, the Taskine range from Paris Corner has been known to be in the same vein as the Cascades, the summer in a bottle, that sort of thing, fruit juice feel. This one, the two-toned one, the blue one and stuff. And then all of a sudden, boom, they dropped this one in there. So that's probably going to be a maybe deciding factor for some people who are so picky when it comes to presentation. I wish they had put a little more work and put this one maybe in a different, way different bottle to make us even more curious as to, how it vibes. But it's something that I'm just going to point out there that I don't know why, unless they are taking a direction in the Taskines where they're also going to, introduce some other scent profiles, some different DNAs. But so far, the 3 or the 4 Taskines that they have brought to us have been summer toned. For those who want to know about weather, guys, both are gourmands. You can wear them anytime. This one might actually be able to transition to winter because of how sharp it is. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we'll obviously discuss more about fragrances. Let me know your thoughts on both fragrances if you do have or own the 2 of them. And while you're at it, remember to turn on post notifications. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one. And remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.